Incoming message.
Hello everybody and welcome to Apple Juice Scholars. It's AJ here again, and today I want to talk about the queue. Wow, sorry. The queue can be thought of as kind of a lunch line where you can only reach the first element in the queue. The queue is thought of to be the opposite of a stack, as it is a first in, first out data structure, FIFO, which again stands for first in, first out. As we will see, the queue has three basic methods, which I want you to know to be able to get the data structure. To show you an example, I will show you the next slide. Now, as you can see here, I have a front and the end of a queue. Now, let's say the queue can be thought of as I said, a lunch line. As what you do is you put things into the queue, and everything you add to it becomes the last item in the queue. But when you want to remove an element, you can only remove the first element or the front element of the queue. So let's say I have a line here, and I have AJ, Jimmy, and Ryan. Let's say I want to put Jimmy in front of the queue. At the front, he is. And then I want to put AJ. I also want to insert AJ into the queue. This is known as the onQueue method. The onQueue method adds an element or an object to the end of the queue, as it always does. And let's say I wanted to add an element, again with onQueue, to the queue. It would automatically go to the end. In a queue relationship, I cannot insert anything before the last element or at the beginning. I can only put things at the end of the line. Kind of like if you arrive late to lunch, you have to get at the end of the line. You don't get to be first. You don't get to cut anybody. Now, let's say I wanted to access AJ in a queue. I cannot do that. The only way I can access elements is I can dequeue. And by dequeuing something, I basically get rid of the front and slide down the queue. So let's say I want to dequeue Jimmy. I want to say, okay, Jimmy's got his lunch. Dequeue returns Jimmy, and I can do whatever I want with that object. And then I can destroy him, and then Ryan and AJ move up in the line, and now AJ is the head. So now of the queue. So if I dequeue AJ, then again Ryan will be the head. But now I can access AJ's variables and data. Now, there is another method I want to talk about, and that is called front. Front, kind of like the top method in a stack, allows me to just look at what the front of the queue is. So I can look at it and say, oh, hey, it's AJ, and double check that AJ has the right variables or data I need to process, or something of that nature. Again, just to reiterate, if I wanted to put Jimmy back in the queue, I could only onQueue him to the end again, as the typical line goes. So a queue is really easy to think about because usually, you use lines a lot, and that's the only way you can use a line, and you can't really break that or cut line in any way. So to go over the methods, I'm just going to type them in here. We have onQueue, which is spelled kind of weirdly, which adds an element to the end of the queue. We have dequeue. Yes, that's spelled right. And it removes an element from, it removes an element from the front of the queue. I'm so sorry. And then we have front, which just returns the first element in the queue. And as you can see, a queue is again a pretty basic data structure. I hope you all understand this, and I hope everybody can fully grasp the concept of queue. Again, it is known as a first in, first out data structure, whereas a stack is known as a LIFO data structure, which stands for last in, first out, because whatever you put in last is the first thing you're going to pop off. Whereas in a queue, it's a FIFO structure where the first thing you put in is going to be the first thing that comes out. As with a line, if you're there first, you get served first. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy my new Flash animations, which are starting in this video. Thank you very much.